In the Brewing Student Cultures podcast, we will cover topics of student life
from both international and Dutch perspective. A podcast by international students' work.
Okay, so hello everyone! Welcome to the International Students' Work podcast, Brewing Student Cultures. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Isabella, and today we're here once again at Hotel Credible to talk about one very interesting topic, especially for students that want to enjoy university life to the fullest. And we have a very nice guest with us today, so welcome.
I am Jerom, and I'm a student, geography, spatial planning and environment. Right now I'm doing a board year within RAG Nijmegen, City of Nijmegen. And I also have a lot of experiences with other associations like Moenis, that's our study association. Red Cross Student Association, also Student Desk it's called. And also with RAG, I'll tell more about it later. I also have many experiences with like other different kind of associations. So I think I have a full view about the whole association landmark. With that's something I can tell about.
Would you like to tell us a little about where you're from and what your association does?
Yeah, of course. Originally, I'm from the south of the Netherlands. It's called Limburg. Yeah. My friends hate it if I pronounce it like that. I'm from Limburg, a little town called Stein, near Sittard Geleen, for the people who know.
Shout out to the people who know.
And 1.5 years ago, I moved here when I just graduated from high school. I joined Rabat University, and luckily I had the opportunity to move in after 1.5 months of looking for a room. And I've been staying there for like 1.5 years now, I think. It's a really nice room. Just paying a little bit too much, but it's really nice. And when I first started, I wanted to make a new network because in high school I had my friends there, but when I moved here, only a few of them too also moved here, so that isn't that much of a group to build on, because they also studied a whole other direction, a lot more creative, more artsy. So I had to find out which people I would like to connect with. And the first thing I learned from the introduction weeks was our study association Moenis. It's mostly Dutch.
Okay.
That's maybe also one of the key things which makes it attractive for Dutch students, but makes it less attractive for English students. But I had a great time there. I am also doing committee work there. Yeah. Last year I did the media commission, media committee, and we just made videos and everything. And right now I'm doing the promo committee, and so we're making merchandise and the Instagram home style and everything like that. So more like design.
That's really nice.
And that's something I'm doing. Besides the RAG Nijmegen thing.
Okay.
Last year I decided to try something new. I was choosing between joining Novum, like the big student association, which is more fun, less serious, and something of a board year, because I really wanted to develop myself, speaking in public, etc. That's when I decided. I was on a trip with like one of the former board members of my association organization, it is, and he told me what he was going to do next week. Yeah, we are closing the applications and everything. And I was like, oh, they're still open. Yeah, they're still open. I was like, oh, all right. And like,
interesting.
When I came home one day, I was just thinking about what am I going to do. You know what? I'm just going to like try it, because most of the time our function within RAG Nijmegen is something you do when you already finished a previous board year within a study association most of the time. That is some experience I don't have. So it was one of the key things. I was like, yeah, I can always try it, but like the odds are against me. So I just went all out, like writing an application letter. I've been in the library for like three days or something. Like more than like studying for like exams. So just like only writing the letter, and I just kept writing and erasing, writing, and I made appointments with like board members for them to look with me to the application and just think what would they think and what can I change. So I think I had a complete product then, and then I was writing the email. Then I made like one of the biggest spelling mistakes in like the subject of like I really spent like like the it was like application letter in Dutch, but I had one L instead of two. So it was like really obvious because in Dutch it's bestuur sollicitatie and it was like bestuur sollicitatie. And it looked really stupid. It looked really stupid. But at the end of the day, they asked me to come over for like an interview. It was really scary because when I arrived there, I just did some nice blues on. I put some nice blues on, and then I just walked down, and they were standing there in like full suits with like six people in front of me in like dresses and suits. And then I just take a seat, and I was just like, oh my god. Oh my
really
god.
nervous, I would say.
I was maybe a bit nervous. And then we had the interview. I think it lasted around 1 hour and a quarter.
That's a lot.
It is.
Yeah, they were also like half of them. Yeah, come on, tempo, speed. And I was just like, yeah, all right. And like at the end of the day, I applied for like what's it called, secretary and commissioner of sponsorship, but they made me at the end of the day chair, maybe because of my talks or something like that.
Oh my god.
I don't know, but I'm really.
Congratulations.
You did great.
Yeah, I think so, and I'm also now I'm like 4 months in, and it's really like a great time, really experiencing and developing all kinds of new situations. And beforehand, I started. I had also a problem with like speaking. Sometimes I stuttered when I was younger, like 12 or something. And to be now just talking, also with like you guys, and in general as like chair of organization, was a challenge. But I think I really developed myself in like speaking. It really brought me a whole new world and a whole new network of people, and that brings me also to like the thing we're talking here about. We are here talking about we're like the student association, student, because we are RAG Nijmegen. We are short. We are a foundation, and we raise money each year for changing international and national charity. Each summer the new board selects them. We have a few criteria like what it's called classifications, so that is good, so that they are open with the finances and such. So we're sure that they are trustworthy. And then we are going to organize one RAG week, because it's RAG week, the English RAG week, RAG week. RAG stands for Raise and Give. That's something.
Didn't know.
Yeah. Most people don't know. But yeah, it's Raise and Give because we raise and give. And
That's right.
And we try to organize as much activities with like other associations and like the RAG week itself. This year it will be from 12th to 19th of April. Yeah, and then we'll now we are trying to organize as much activities with like the students associations, the study associations, sporting associations, culture associations, and like the umbrella association as well. So that really gives me a big perspective of like the whole student association world, because they are all so different. Study associations, then you also have the master associations, and then you also have like the sporting associations and the student associations.
Yeah,
it's so different.
So many
and
things going on.
It's really different for like the Dutch speaking students, but also really different for like the international speaking students because I don't know.
I think it's a whole culture, right? Like, do you think that a lot of Dutch students are into associations, or?
Most of them are. No. I think most of the people who tend to move out and live here are also more likely to join an association.
True.
Okay.
Because that was also one of the key things why I joined an association, because I'm moving, I don't have a big network of people here, and then I want to build that, and that's why I joined an association.
Okay.
Because if you, as a Dutch student, live at your home place, then you have like that network, a group of people, and then it's not necessary to build a new one, because it's also hard to keep the pack together if you're living far away and you have your friend group here.
Yeah.
Because you can do fun activities here then. You can stay overnight here most of the time.
Yeah.
So that's one of the key things I think why it's important to join an association if you're living here, because you need to build the network.
Yeah.
And I know that it's more simply said than done.
Yeah.
Especially
That's so true.
especially for like a Dutch student. But if you succeed as an international student, I think it will also be really amazing to build further on that. Because I think international students can be really close because they really understand each other's.
We're all going to the same thing, so we understand how hard it is.
Yeah.
And then we go
And that's,
everybody together.
That's like a bonding, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And if you combine that with like a friend group or an association, I think that's something which, like that understanding and that empathy really forms our bonding. And I think that's really nice as an international. But it's just so much harder, I think, to come to that point that you meet those people.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning.
All right.
If like new student or not, international or not, Dutch student, whatever, where can I start? Like, where can I find student association? Like you were talking about the intro week that helps you.
Yeah, the orientation week.
Yeah, but let's see. Now I'm gonna start looking into student associations. Where can I find like everything that I should know?
All right. Like I think the first thing when I first get to know about like Mundus, my study association, I saw it on like the Rabot website.
Okay.
They have a list of all the associations, I think, and then with also a short summary and a contact info and everything. I think it's maybe within a faculty section of the site, but that was the first time I learned about Mundus. So I think that will be a nice place to start. Or you can just ask friends who already live here or like older students. Because I also became part of Mundus because of like students who were in year 2 of the study and who were within Mundus. So I think those are the key things to get to know student association.
Do you know about your university if they have a website with the lists?
I am not sure if they have a website, but I also don't think it's going to be that difficult to find. I think if you look up your city name and then maybe student associations, a few will come up.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
the internet.
And all associations, they have like socials, like Instagram and
Yeah,
Yeah.
websites.
But most of the time then you need to know the name of the association.
Yeah, sure.
So if you know the name, then it will be really simple to
Easy.
apply. But I don't think it will be that easy to, because when you first come here, I think it will be really overwhelming because there are so much things to do if you know everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the best thing to do is just talk about it with like other people. Because first I only knew like Mundus, and then I started talking, and then I heard about all the student associations, codes, over and over, you know. And when I started doing like this board here, I got to know like all the study associations. So now I know most of them at least. But when I before this year, I only know Mundus, or maybe like our neighbors, Ismus,
Okay.
but I don't know. It's not easy. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that because there are so many options, and like, how do you choose the right one for you? You know?
Yeah, for
There
like
are
a
many
study
types.
association, it's like simple because it's like the thing you're studying.
Uh-huh.
And it's also like
Okay.
your studying is like the binding factor within your study association. So it makes really, you always have something to talk about, and
Yeah.
that is really something which makes it easy to just walk in like the association room, because like our room is in like our faculty building.
Yeah, true.
So if you're done with like college, you can just walk out and take a sip of coffee in like the Moon's room.
Cool.
And if you don't know what to say, you can always talk about like the college you just had. Or it's like really simple if you. It's easy to talk about things if you have the same interest, and that is the thing which makes the study association so strong. It's maybe a little bit smaller compared to like the bigger student associations, cultural and sporting associations. But it's more interesting and talkative, I think, about just the daily things, because we all experience them. If I am having a subject right now and I'm talking with like a normal student, they will tell me their experience about it, and it can really help me also to get a hold of that subject.
Yeah.
It really helped me to talk about all students to progress in my own study, because I knew what to expect, and I knew what things were important within like the books and everything, so I didn't have to read everything. Yeah, I
Okay.
know.
Okay.
And don't tell my mother, by the way.
Let's hope she doesn't listen.
Yeah.
No. But you can also get like some summaries there most of the time.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it's really like one big picture.
Yeah, but we have, for example, sports associations.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Right? We have so many of them, and I
Yeah.
think it's a matter of you, like your interest for sure,
Yeah.
and you fit in the group. So if you're with people that likes the same thing you like, have the same, I don't know, energy, vibe, I think it's a great fit for an association. Yes.
I think so. And I also, for example, I am part of ESN. I am not like board member or anything. Like I just
Yeah,
joined.
just you're a member.
And there are like it's very easy to join, and also I feel like it's a way to get out of my faculty as well. You did say like if you want to go into like a study association, you can stay within your major and be friends with people that you already have something in common with. Or you can also like go out there and get around mixed up with people that you have nothing in common with.
Yeah.
And then the association will be something that you have in common,
Yeah.
right? I think it's also a way to find friends from other groups, from other
Yeah.
like, perspectives.
I just think that for example ESN it is,
Yeah.
and like study associations are like a good start market. And after that you can really explore like sporting as an association, because some members of like the study association are part of like other associations also like student. And that's when you get to know about their stories, what they experience, and so I think you get to know more of like the whole landscape of like associations. But I really think that it's also a good thing to bond with people who have different interests, because my whole board year are with people who are doing other like studies, and it's like really interesting to see how their daily life is and what they're studying.
Different from yours.
Yeah, but it's just easier to do it with like people with the same interest. If you have that, then you can move on, and then you can meet new people. I think it's just the easiest way to start here. I think that's it.
Yeah. Okay, and if I found my association and I would like to become a member, maybe a board member, like active member, whatever, what would you say it's something that we should know about the association
How much
before
effort,
joining?
yeah, we'll put in.
Before you join, for like study associations or like student associations?
Yeah, in general, I would say.
In general, yeah. The thing is, like most of the associations are really different. You have like the big student associations, and you have like a week within in which you are screamed at, you sleep in like tents. It's like really intense. It's not fun. For some it is, but for some it also isn't. And you really need to get through that whole week, and then you're part of the association. So that's something which may not suit all kinds of students.
Okay.
But after that week, it can be really fun, because then you go through that week with like your new friends maybe, and so it's really like a bonding thing. You really get close, and after that you're just part of it, and everybody did it. So it's also like really forming a group, which is positive but also negative, I think, because it's positive because it's you're part of like a big thing in which you're accepted.
Yeah.
But for like the outsiders, it might be not that much of a welcoming side.
Okay. But it really depends on the association as well,
Yeah,
right?
you have like four big student associations. Groot Magnus is called. It's like the biggest, I think. It's over Novum. They're on like a bit of a competition to get the biggest.
Okay.
Yeah. They all say we are the biggest, but they don't know exactly.
Alright.
And as a study association, it's easy to like join. You can just say, oh, I want to join, and it's just like, yeah, all right, you can join, and you don't have to be an active member. You can be an active member by doing committees. So that's like small parts of like a board here. I think that's the best way to say it. You also have like roles like chair of a committee, secretary of a committee, and treasurer. And then you just have like a small portion of work. You can, as a committee, you can once each month you can organize like a party, for example. Or I did media committee last year with the Moonless. So we shot videos about the study trips. And we had a lot of creative freedom to work on. And right now I'm doing, besides my whole year, also committee work with the Moons, and it is the promo committee. So we're designing merchandise which people wear, which is really fun to think about, because you're just putting a little bit of work in, because you're in like a bigger group, maybe 2 hours a week, but it really depends on like what committee you choose. You have busy committees, also like less busy committees. I'm doing all of these smaller ones because I'm already busy with like my whole board here.
Yeah.
And even with like a little bit of time you're putting into it, you can get really beautiful outcomes, because you are working together with people, and not only the things you produce, also like the relationships you get with like the people you're working together with or something.
For sure.
And the fun thing is it's completely optional. I didn't have to do this year because I'm really busy, but I just wanted to do it because it's really nice to be a part of something bigger.
Nice.
And that's something you can do with like a committee within an association. Like most associations have them. Like study associations are like most easy to come within to join a committee. So I think that's also like a fun thing to experience, what it is to like work more seriously on like an association like a small part. That's something you can do.
Yeah, you can choose how much effort you put in. Like you don't have to be like 100% in, or you can be 100% in, or just do like little things because you're part of a whole, right?
Yeah.
So,
And I think, but this is one of the most important thing I would say, like before joining association, to know exactly how much effort you're gonna put in there, because of course, for example, I just moved here, so I'm dealing with housing, I'm dealing with my first university year, I'm dealing with work, but still, if I wanna be part of a student association, I can just go for one that I know that I will I will handle things because it's not that over. But I think it's one of the most important things.
I was gonna ask though, like, for example, you said we just moved in, but like, is there a deadline to join? Are some associations like strict with that? Or, like, are there rules?
It really depends on like the association. Like the student associations, a lot of people want to join them. So like the big four. Because they're also like the biggest and most talked about. So they only have one application date, and after that you have like the week in which you screen that and everything. It really sounds negative, but it can be also positive. I need to keep everybody close. I really need to be nice with everybody. But it's really what you want to do. You can if I think for me it was I wanted to join Oven. There's like the less strict student association. It also has like our ontgroening week. So I was going to be screened that, but I was just like, at the end you get so much back for it.
Okay.
And it's I don't like being screened that, but maybe for 1 week.
Yeah.
It's a little bit against my own beliefs and things, but. Yeah, it's really difficult because I might be against it a little bit, but I also think it's like something that really creates a binding between everybody. So I get why they are doing it.
Yeah.
It's really nice of them that they are putting it in like a more modernized way, because the ontgroeningen are a lot more less extreme than previous 20 years back or something. So they're also moving forward with like the time. But I wanted to join Oven, but then I was going to do this board here. But yeah, I think it will be. I learned about Oven like last year when I was within the study association. People were talking about all the crazy stories. I was just like, I wanted to be in your shoes and experience all those crazy things, because I also like parties.
Yeah, we all do, right?
Yeah. So it really sounded nice in my ears, but I might do it next year, or I might not. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Because now I'm doing a whole other, like a board here is so different, because you also have like the parties, but you are also so formally doing business and everything. And I think after this year it will be more empty, because then the business isn't like that. I need to create my own world again, you know? Because this only lasts for 1 year. It's not. I'm not part of an association. So when I'm done, I'm really done. So that's something I'm also thinking about now. Because of, am I going to join Oven next year then, or am I just going to do something else? Or you have so much opportunities as a student, but you just get to know them along the way. You can't get to know them at one point. Really, in daily life, you get to hear about it. You know?
Yeah. You can join them all, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, and then.
Yeah.
But I do get it.
Yeah, but it really depends on the association. Like a sport one, a student one.
I would say that like ESN was super easy to join. Like when you were talking about how you had to go through like an application and everything.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's for our
entry
board.
process.
Yeah, well, still like joining it as a board member, I would be like, oh.
Yeah.
But it's super cool. Like I feel like depending on how much you want to like bring into the association, you can go through this whole process, right? And you can also just join as a member and then later join the community, maybe.
Yeah. You can just wait. Like most of the time, most communities form at the beginning of the year, of the academic year. But I also managed to join one later last year, because I just wanted to attend a special activity for like all the active members. I was just like, yeah, sounds fun. How can I join? Yeah, then you need to join the activity, the community. I was just like, oh yeah, can I do that? Yeah, but like the deadline already passed. Yeah, but I really want to do the activity tonight. I really want to play the game tonight. Yeah, all right. But then you have to join the media committee. I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it. At the end of the day, I'm so happy that I did it, because it really gave me a network last year.
Oh, that's so nice.
Now I'm willing to part of any associations, because I think I noticed is you make a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you bond for all your university years and everything. But you also gain so much skills, like not only academic, but professional and skills that you never thought about it, like you're doing media stuff. So I think that you have like the advantage of doing it's like so many like actually great to go and have this experience.
Like going studying is so much more than only attending colleges. So right in my board year I really have I almost don't have any time for attending colleges, lectures I mean, and that's really at the beginning hard I think to like accept that I'm going to do another year. But right now I really developed myself in a way I would not have been if I just did like the regular plan. So I think the things you choose to do outside your study really develop you as a student in like many different ways.
As a person as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think like there's a lot of pressure to graduate and there's a certain amount of time to do the studies in this way, and this way. But we forget about the extras, right? Like student life matters and networking matters as well. Right? And if you want to do, like I think if you're in a student association, for example, like a study association, then you actually get to practice what you're learning, right? And, you know, like and getting together with people that are like that have that in common and like growing as a person with them, I think it's something different, right?
Yeah, because if you're part of like an association and doing committee work or a board year, then you have pressure built on yourself, and not only because you're like if you're doing a study, you're doing it for yourself, and if you're doing a committee work or a board year, and you're doing it for like other people.
So nice perspective.
You really have pressure on yourself to develop yourself, and that's why I'm might be more developing myself like other ways than in like study. Because study I'm just doing it for myself. I know in my mind it's more important to do the things I'm doing right now in like this sport year than doing this study year. Because I can also do this next year, which might not be the greatest mindset. But if I'm really developing things I wouldn't have if I haven't been doing this. It really brings new perspectives to your own life, and I think that's something you cannot achieve by doing a study.
So true.
Absolutely.
So true. And at the end it's so stressful going to like through university exams and everything. And we have this really fun part of associations where you bond with people, you have parties, like great parties.
Really great parties.
Like games, movie nights. So it's also something that helps you mentally during university. And at the end, I think we're all like, okay, I'm not part of any association, but I think that at the end you're gonna be just grateful for everything that you did. And you can just enjoy all the years you're gonna be spending study, also having fun and bonding and creating your network.
Yeah, because of course you can talk to people in uni, you can meet people, but it's gonna be different, like right, a set time for that, and like a closed off environment where you're not like overwhelmed with everything, with this subject, with tests and stuff like that. But I was wondering if there like, because we've talked a lot about the good side, but is there like something that we can like, that isn't that good? Like what are the pros and cons of being a student?
The things I hate about association life is that I really see international students having trouble with fitting in, and I really want them to fit in, but not always I can do something about it as one person, because most of the associations are like fully Dutch. And like Dutch people tend to be like really nationalistic and just only talk Dutch if they want to and if they want to, and that really makes it harder for like international students to fit in like the picture, and that's why I think international students have so much more trouble fitting in with like most associations. That's why I think it's really important that ESN, as for example, is like active and helps students with it. And as RAG, we also have each year we are writing a plan for like the whole year, and we are really focusing on like diversity and inclusivity. That's why we're also doing like we had one well-being week movie night.
Yeah,
We had
I was
one
there.
and we had one international movie night. We're really trying to push forward on like trying to help international students integrate within like all the associations. And at the end of the day, we are a foundation, so we don't have members. But we would really like to give them a better perspective, and really also try to how do you say it? Help other associations with like seeing that international students are like such a big group, but they are more in like the background. You don't see them that much, I think, because as an association, most of the time, if you have a room, there are only Dutch people. And I just think that it's really something
To work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think that's important. For example, also like the bigger student associations, so like the big four, are like fully Dutch, I think.
Yeah.
So as an international, it's so I don't know how you. I really don't know if you can participate within it. And I think maybe that. Yeah, I really think that it's weird, but it's also hard for them to fully switch to English.
Yeah. Like,
Because like all the former groups within those associations are Dutch, so the evenings are Dutch. And if you're one international student and just attend one of these nights and you start talking English, they'll be staring at you like, huh? How did you come here? Like, and I think it's crazy that it is the way it is, but at the end of the day, you can change it in like 1 year.
that's true.
It might change in like the future, but I think there's so much room for change, but somebody needs to start with it.
Yeah, I think we can end this really nice talk with just join a student in a sport, any kind of association, just go for it.
Really do it. You don't know what you're missing out.
Because we've been over so many things today. We've been like over what kinds of association there are, how to join, how to choose the right association for you, the pros and cons of joining an association as well, and how much you can learn from it, and how much you can give, right, from like what you told us. It's beautiful.
It was a great episode. It was. So much information.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being
really like
here.
it. I really like it.
So thank you for being here, for like sharing so much information and letting us know a lot of things. Thank you, Credible, for hosting us and providing
Christmas
this amazing time with this amazing coffee. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And
that's it.
see you all.
Bye.
Bye.